Hi, we're at the Mason-Dixon 7th Annual Willys Jeep Gathering, and I have here Merlin Hanson, who owns and operates his own engineering restoration business, Hanson Mechanical, and with him he has a 1945 Willys Jeep, which has actually got a 41 body on it.
It's a 1941 body, and it's a 1945 frame. Which kills me because I've got a 41. I own a 41 with a 45 body on it.
And this one is also a script, really early script model.
Yeah, it's got the detailed script on the back. Doesn't have the glove box or anything like that.
It's not a reproduction, and that's itself is rare today.
I've had people want to buy it just to take the tub off of it, but since it belonged to a World War II veteran, I don't like the idea of taking it apart.
Tell the story about this behind it, how you've been working on it for a while.
Well, we were contacted, I think about 3 years ago, by Joe Tedesco's daughter, who she and her husband had brought Joe down from upstate New York. They bought him the Jeep as a surprise, and he liked to tinker with it. So they found out about us, and they sent it up to us to fix some electrical issues that he'd created by playing around. And we took it back to him. When we delivered it, a friend of mine dressed in the full uniform of 4th Infantry Division, and got to be friends with them, and Joe kept tinkering with it. So I'd come down and I'd fix one thing or another and work with him. And then he flipped it one day, trying to experiment with it in his neighborhood, and rolled it 3 times and went nose over end. And then it came back to the shop with, she called me one day and she says, "Before you look at the email, don't panic, Dad's fine. Now go look at the pictures." And I get these pictures of a completely crunched Jeep that looked like Life magazine photos of an accident from World War II. And we took it back, spent 6 months working on it, and the evening before Memorial Day, we got it back to them again. So he had it for the Memorial Day parade. And then he played with some more wiring, and I got some more phone calls. So he passed away this past February, I think, and up through last fall, I was going down there like once a month with a vintage World War II toolkit, and he and I would spend an evening fixing whatever he'd done to it that time. My attitude always was like, he's 92. If it makes him happy to play with it and he breaks something, I'm perfectly happy to come down and spend an evening with him fixing it, because that always made him happy.
Well, that's all in Jeep ownership.
Yeah. Yeah. And this was his pet. This was really his pet, and it's always been. He had tags, vanity tags, in New York State that said Kilroy on it when they first gave it to him, and then when we got to Maryland, he managed to get Kilroy on them again. So this Jeep, whenever it comes back to the shop, it's never been, okay, that Jeep's coming back. It's always, yeah, guess who came back? Oh, Kilroy's here. And everybody goes out to see Kilroy, and then we work on him again.
Well, it's for sale now, isn't it?
Yeah, he's for sale. When he passed away, the family, they thought they were going to keep it. They thought a museum was going to take it. And finally they decided to sell it because they really didn't know what to do with it. And they asked me a price on it, and I said, I really don't know if I can put a price on a World War II veteran's Jeep. So they finally just sort of put $14,000 or best offer on it, and we'll see. My biggest thing is I've had a few people ask about it, and I'm sort of feeling out who will give it the best home. I don't want it taken apart, and a few people have wanted to do other things to it, and I just want to find somebody who will take care of Joe's Jeep.
Keep it all like it is.
Keep it like it is, keep it on the road, have fun with it. Have it as a pet like he did. So that's what they are.
A member of the family.
Exactly. That's exactly it.
Well, tell us a little bit more about your shop.
The shop, not particularly religious, but I think God decided I was going to run a Jeep shop, because I've had my 1941 Jeep for years, and it was a friend of mine's first car. And I started a website a few years ago with my car collection on it, and people started asking, hey, could you fix this or could you fix that? And I'd go, well, I'm a teacher, I've got the summer off, I can do that. And so one Christmas we picked up a Jeep for $500 off of eBay, brought it back to Maryland. On the way down, I gave away my business card, and we got connected up with a whole estate at that point that was getting rid of Jeep parts, and got that Jeep down to Maryland, redid it over the summer, and all of a sudden had a waiting list of people who wanted Jeeps done, which sort of baffled all of us. So we're just sitting here going, well, we think that's the first one we've done, other than mine, which we just maintain. And since then, it's just sort of grown. And I think part of it is because everybody who's in the shop, myself, my assistants and stuff, we all have a real passion for the vehicles and for the history behind them and for the people. And that's my biggest thing, is just sort of the memory of the people, and also having customers who are fun to work with and trying to make sure that we're fun to work with. I think that's what just keeps it expanding to the point where I'm sitting here going, okay, I didn't mean to run a Jeep shop. I didn't mean to have a staff. I didn't mean to be renting a building. You just keep growing, all right. And then the Jeeps keep finding their way to us. I have people asking, how do you keep finding these Jeeps? And I'm just sitting there going, I don't know. I get phone calls, then another Jeep pops up.
It's more like the Jeeps find you.
Yeah, we feel like Jeep magnets.
Yeah.
It's and if one pops up, within 2 days, somebody pops up who's been looking for a Jeep, which is the weirdest thing to me. We did one for a National Geographic TV show. The company we did the Jeep for sold it to a guy in Texas. He loved the Jeep and got talking to a friend of his at work, and then calls me up and says, my friend has his dad's Willys MB sitting in the barn. Do you want it for this many dollars? I'm sitting there going, well, that's too little. Tried to talk him into a higher price because I thought it was too little. They said, no, we're just happy to send it to you. So we bought it, shipped it up from Texas, and 2 days later, somebody was recommended to us through Facebook, and he bought it. Now it has a happy owner who's paying us a bit at a time, and we're working on it a bit at a time. And so it just sort of found its home, and it's sort of like the Jeeps are magnetically finding who's supposed to take care of them next.
Yeah, so you got a customer out of buying a Jeep.
Yeah, that's it's a little bit of a risk, but I just sort of at this point I've just sort of figured if a Jeep pops up, somebody will pop up who owns it within a couple days, who wants to own it within a couple days. And it seems to work out that way. And I've gotten to the point where I'm not continually panicking about keeping work in the shop, because I've realized that if I start to worry about it, within a couple days another job seems to show up. So the shop just sort of keeps filling itself up with work.
So as long as you can buy Jeeps, you're getting a customer.
Well, it's we do some of that, and then we've got a lot more people just coming in for. I love doing repairs because it's not a total dismantle of the vehicle. One of my favorite things is when we're getting contacted by people who have this Jeep that sat for 10 years, or this one who sat for 15 years, and it's been in the family forever, and they want it brought back to life. And those ones are a lot of fun because they're usually very original, usually in good shape, been in a barn or a garage somewhere. And it's just wonderful for us seeing it come back to life. And the more fun thing is giving it back to the people and having them see it for the first time on the road in like 10 or 20 years. And just sort of that Christmas morning type of thing when they get their present back, even though they've spent money on it. Just getting that, getting that item, that family member, that vehicle back into their lives again is just really cool.
Well, it's restoring a family heirloom, and that's always been a recurring theme with a lot of the Jeeps, and I find that with my own self, something that's been passed down through the ages that one of the family members bought, and they thought enough of it that they kept it for years and years.
Yeah, we're on our. Yeah, we've got several that are family heirlooms, and several that are just people who've had an interest in them. And then one of my favorites is a fellow who contacted us a few months ago who grew up with his grandfather driving him around in a World War II GPW. And his grandfather was a World War II veteran, and he just wanted a Ford GPW Jeep. And then ended up connecting him up with your friend Dave.
Well, that's great. Well, thank you for spending time, and
thank you.
Keep restoring them. Keep them on the road. Appreciate it. Thank you.